So thank you for coming. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Omri, and welcome to our 10th meetup for augmented reality TLV or AWE Nite TLV. As you know, this is our 10th meetup, so we are kind of excited about it. We started over a year ago and have an event every 2 months or so, and we are very proud of the community that have grown to include all of the people that are here, so thank you for coming. Just a few logistics before we start, because we have a lot of content tonight. First of all, if you need Wi-Fi for some reason, then please use the MSFT guest with this code that is provided here by Microsoft. And also, we are streaming the event live on YouTube right now. So if you want to share with somebody who couldn't come here, and we are sharing it also on our social channels and with AWE, the organization, so it can be worldwide as well. What do you mean? Just type the link, yeah? Or take a picture and then send it to whoever you want to type the link, yeah? I'm guessing that you don't need to type it right now, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can also search for the name of the event and probably you'll find it. Okay. Is it okay? Can I keep going? Okay, I'm waiting. Okay. So this is the boring part where kind of formalities and welcomes, and in a few minutes the real lecturers will step up and give you the show. Okay. So the agenda for today is first of all some thank yous and welcome to all that are here. And then I will give a short state of the industry briefing of everything that happened since our last meetup that I think that is kind of relevant for people who are sitting in this room. And then we have 2 talks and an experience for all of you to actually be a part of. And the first talk with Jonathan and then Ronen from Taxi. And then we will play Hado. As you can see, they're already set up in this room and you'll see how cool it is. So I'll start with saying thank you to Microsoft Reactor. Thank you guys so much for providing us this space. Not the first time, it's I think maybe our 5th time here, providing us the pizzas, the beer, so maybe even a round of applause. Yeah, thank you. And you know, to have such community for free for the people that are actually working in the field, I think it's a great thing that we are doing for us. And special thanks to Ronnie and Lital and all the Microsoft team that help us set up all these technical details. And also, thank you for Nextech, Israel, Johnny, and Yaron that brought us some amazing content today, and we're doing this event together with them. And who are we? I am Omri, as you know, maybe. And we are organizing this event. We are a startup doing infrastructure for augmented reality. And if you're interested in finding out more, you can talk to us in the break. And also from quite afar, from New York City, Andrea is part of the organizing team of this meetup. Currently, she's not in Israel, but when she is, she's a very active player, and also from afar, she helps us out. So thank you, Andrea. And I want to some information about the upcoming second AWE Israel event. This is going to be the next big event for augmented reality, virtual reality, XR in general in Israel. The last one was a big success in terms of people that attended, companies, and this kind of things. And the next one is already planned for the 11th of November in Tel Aviv. More than 800 attendees for the last one, more than 30 speakers. And this meetup is part of the networks that helps to create the content for this conference. I think it's a good one to attend if you're interested in this space. Yeah, and you can see some more details here. I'm sure that we'll share more when we get closer to November as well. Okay, so now let me update you a little bit about what happened. We met only a month and a half ago, so not that much changed, but some interesting specs that I got because I'm following the field. So first of all, a little bit about Oculus Quest that just launched when we met last time. So I think a lot of people expected it to be something kind of like the iPhone for the virtual reality devices, kind of the thing that will make it go viral and become a commodity. And it looks that it's not there yet. It has nice sales figures, but based on some estimates that you can follow the links later if you want, you can see that the sales are still not quite as high as people wanted it to be. So maybe that's something that you have to plan for. I think another big thing that happened in the last few months is that Apple released ARKit 3. And well, I think from the big companies were one of the big ones that are really pushing the field forward. We added a lot of cool features that help us build better XR experiences. Among them, things like people occlusion. Let's see something of that. Okay. So this is a digital object that is actually being occluded by the person that is moving around it. This is something that was not possible before a few months ago. And this is kind of cool. This is everything happens on your phone. There's no active sensor. So this is a very nice sensor. It's not perfect though, you can see. Okay, and yeah, let's do. I think another very interesting thing that happened in this release.
It's incredibly immersive. The fun, quirkiness, and surprises of Minecraft are all around to discover.
So,
oh no, Sack's a creeper!
So maybe just some context. One of the things that they showed was that they're working together with Microsoft to bring Minecraft to augmented reality. And what they showed there is how you can have a collaborative session with multiple users seeing the same thing, the same place in the world, and actually building Minecraft on top of the physical world. It's actually a quite old concept that was demonstrated 2 years ago, but now we know that it's coming, a lot of money is being put to that, and maybe this will be the next Pokemon Go. Or maybe not. But I think it's very interesting. And maybe I'll show you one more thing that is now possible with your iPhone. Yeah. So they actually have the ability to track the human body. And so you can create all kinds of cool things like that. This is just demonstration of what you can do. So I thought it's kind of artistic and cool. And of course, for the programmers and machine learning experts among us, computer vision and all that, I think that you can understand what's going on behind the scenes, and it's kind of cool that it's coming. Okay. Yeah, and maybe the last thing that they talked about is the Reality Composer. It's actually a tool that helps you create XR experiences. Shows how much money and thought we are putting into augmented reality as a company. Okay. Another big thing that happened is that Niantic, the company that released Pokemon Go a year ago, released a new game, Harry Potter's Wizard Unite. But apparently it's not as successful as the Pokemon Go was. It's very similar in terms of gameplay, but it's maybe a tenth of the adoption that the last one had. So it's successful, but it's not as a big hit as the other one. Another thing that Google did, I think it's kind of interesting to see where they take this. Yeah. Let me try to see it, but basically it's somebody talking about lipstick and she show it, and then you can at the same time see yourself in the selfie camera and experience the same shades that she shows in the video. It looks like not such an amazing technical feature, but the thing is, it's really the thing that really works today is face filters and these kind of things. I think it's smart move from Google. Okay. And we're almost finished with the roundup. Yeah, another company that I think it's really interesting to follow what they are doing with AR is Snapchat, and together with a stadium in Chicago. Why can't you see anything? But yeah, they took the location and they added a filter on top of this stadium location that made it look like the I don't know. Doesn't it play? Okay. Yeah. So it's like a Stranger Things. Okay, so it didn't play so well, but the thing I think that is interesting that it's already the second demonstration that Snapchat does that shows basically how you take a location, a famous location, and you turn it into something else, something fantastical, using their Snapchat filters. And I think this shows us the way that they want us to go, and they are building the way there. So Snapchat is a very serious augmented reality company. And yeah. And maybe the last thing that I'll talk about is the famous head of design for Google, Johnny Ive, departed. Apple. Did I say Google? Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you. And some people think it's a clue to the fact that he finished designing the Apple smart glasses. And it was even quoted in one of the interviews, kind of Washington Post, I think. So I think it's a very interesting move for people that are following smart glasses and such. And that's about it for the roundup. And yeah. And now, my pleasure to invite Johnny Virtual. I think most of you know him pretty well by now. Yeah, so please welcome him. And he will talk about how he built his own smart glasses. So take it from here, Johnny.
Yeah, we'll just set up a minute. Hopefully it will only take a minute. I'll take another minute. In the meanwhile, you can see this is a demo of what I'm going to show. It's Project North Star. It's basically this headset. It's basically a headset that you can, it's an open source headset. You can print it out, build it, order some parts, and you can have your own. Technically, the idea is to have a $100 headset that anyone can build at home. Currently, the cost is about $1,000 for the sensors and parts, but hopefully with time, it'll grow cheaper. And you can see this fun demo of how it looks like when you're using the glasses. So basically, you have the leap motion and recognize hands. And just a second, I'll set it up. Yeah, okay, so I'll tell a bit about how it was. What I did, I traveled to the US for AWE, which was a great conference, and thank you very much, Ori, for doing that, if you can hear us. Yeah, give a big round of applause to AWE. You got a lot of great content because of them, and they helped sponsor us, so it's a lot of fun. And so basically, well, that was not supposed to be the first picture, but it got mixed up. Yeah, okay, so basically, the kit comes, today you can pre-order a kit if you don't want to source out all the parts. It's all on GitHub, by the way. It's called Project North Star by Leap Motion. Leap Motion, it's not Magic Leap. A lot of people get confused sometimes because of the name. These are the guys who make actually this sensor. This one, it's basically a hand motion recognition sensor. So it tracks your fingers and you can technically operate apps with it. They made a version where you can do it also for VR. And later they created their own prototype for this augmented reality device that anybody can build at home. Theoretically, it's supposed to cost $100 in the end. Right now, it costs a bit more. So what it's basically made of is, you can't see all the parts here, a few screws, mostly printed out parts. And this is a generic headset that we use just for this part. We take it apart. And I'll be a bit quick, and I want to show you some fun demos. So basically, yeah, it doesn't run. Yeah, that's what you see in the end. Okay, it all got mixed up. I'm sorry for that. But we got some kits and the sensors, and there was, the process is basically assembling it. putting the screens in, calibrating the screens. This is a calibration module. It has 4 cameras, so we can adjust to the position of where the hand is. I will show you that in a second. I have a problem with the calibration right now. You'll be able to see it soon. So the workshop was a bit daunting. It's basically a lot of plastic parts that are fragile, and you have to take apart, break a few pieces off, shave off a few pieces. We needed some Leap Motion devices. We didn't have them, so the CTO of Leap Motion came by, this little guy. It was just a few days after they sold the company. So he looks happy in the picture, but I'm not sure if they were that happy. So it's basically putting in screws, insets. It's a lot of dumb work that's a little scary because you don't want to break anything, but it's very simple work and a lot less complicated than it might seem. So you cut the foam in a certain shape to adjust it, so we'll have the headrest here and well, I actually broke it. Put it back together today. This is still fragile, and by the way, this piece here really needs modification if someone's into it. I'm guessing people will love it because this is the second time I broke this part. So we just glued it for now. So basically, although this device is very ugly, this is right now one of the best looking or working apparatus in the field. I can hardly call it glasses. And it's right now it's fallen off my head because I can't put it on straight. So you get 2 screens, and you got to peel the tape off. A lot of really dumb work, but it needs a little bit of sensitivity. And this is one of the guys after he built his headset, and he's showing the app that I'll show you in a minute. So connecting the screens, and you have this little driver board that basically drives the screens. Here, you can see it here in the picture. So that's most of the electronics that's there. This and the USB connection, basically. So this connects, this is the output, the input, basically. Because this whole device is basically a screen and 2 sensors on it. One is the Leap Motion for the hand recognition, and the other one, this one is a brand new sensor. It's the occipital core sensor. It's still not available. It will be available next month. We were the first to get it. Occipital were a part of the workshop, and that's part of why I joined the workshop, because I wanted to get it now. And so after you put it all together, basically you have 2 screens. These are the highest res screen available on the market today. You see them in new devices like Oculus Rift S, Quest, the Vive Pro. So they are very high res. And the last part of the process is basically calibrating it in a rig that basically shoots this image and needs to receive about the same image in the camera. And once it's set, your hands are in place in the right position, overlaid. The virtual hands will be overlaid on your hands perfectly, which does not happen in what we have currently because I have a problem with the calibration file. So yeah, this is a little bit more pictures of what it was. It's basically putting together some parts, 2 metal strips, and it was actually a lot of fun. And you can see a bit of the resolution on the screen. They are amazing. I'll let a few of you try it. This is a bit breakable, so you won't all get to try it. You'll all get to play Hado. I think that's it about building it. Do you have any questions before I show the demo? Yeah. Oh, it's connected to a PC. It has to be a strong, capable PC, like a good graphics card, 1080 or more, 1070 might run it. But basically, it requires a display port or or a FireWire connection through USB-C, and two USB ports, one for the sensors and one for the display. Any more questions? Yeah. The hardest part, I have to say, it was I don't know, maybe putting in the screens, or you have to tear off the film from the screens, and that's screens are expensive. The lenses, we actually had to. These lenses are very hard to make, actually. And in the beginning, they showed how to fabricate it and how to coat it with gold or silver. And in the end, we got these manufactured in the States. Today, there's a company that makes it. Before, you had to actually make it by yourself. But we got it, and it wasn't as well made as it seems. So it has a lot of defects. So we had to file those, and you're really afraid to file and hurt those lenses. And then you have to push them, push them into the frame by bending stuff there. And yeah, it's very fragile, and everything is 3D printed, so it can easily break. So yeah, putting the lenses and the screens, that's the scariest part, I think. There are a few complicated things with folding, like the leads for the electronics inside, so they fit. You don't see it here. I don't have a good picture of it. But basically, it's a very simple build. We'll be doing workshops with these. I'm planning on two kinds of workshop. One for sorry. Two kinds of workshop. One for building extra things on top of it, adding to the project basically, and another for just a sec. Another for executives who would like to understand more about the field and how to make devices like that. So that was it. Let's show you the quick demo. Well, you can write your own. This is a part that's needed. And actually, this is part of why I got it, because I wanted a device to have fun with. And unfortunately, my biggest expectations, the Magic Leap, did not live up to what I wanted it to be. And this actually has a bigger field of view. Okay, you can't really compare it with Magic Leap, because they did amazing work there. They have eye tracking, they have a 6-DoF controller, they have great field of view. But it was very disappointing to me in a few ways. And this is a device, actually they didn't have hand tracking until recently, and today they have complete hand tracking, so they're doing really good, Magic Leap, and I have high hopes for them soon to see a new device from them. Hopefully Hanan here can tell us more about it later. And this device is a lot of fun. Hopefully you'll get to see some of it. Let's try to put on a demo. Well, Unity is stuck, so we'll just have to restart it. Thank you, Unity. Owen, this is all on you. And it's still So basically, for the content, you have a few demos that you can download and build upon, and I'll show you a couple of those here. But basically, you need to build your own content. There's not a lot of content for it. This is a development device, yes. This is not a device we plan people to walk around with in the street with, or play Hado with. But it's a lot of fun, and I hope to start working with it. In my daily routine, hopefully. No, it was just stuck in the background. That's it. Thank you, Oren. Yeah, okay. You actually can't see what I see, and we want to try and show you a bit. Yeah, okay. Can't have everything inside of this webcam. Of course, of course. Oren, if that doesn't go, we'll let you. By switching on ports. Okay, now it seems that no, it's webcam. It seems to be working. Yeah, just switching out USB ports seems to help. And let's see if we can show you a bit of magic. Yeah, there's a bit of a problem of showing you what I see. Okay, so what do you see? Do you see the fire? Yeah, okay. So right now there's a bit of a problem. The fire is not in the way where it's supposed to be, okay? Because it's not calibrated well. So it's supposed to be right on my hand, but I don't have my calibration from that setup. So basically I can do this and supposedly a fireball too, but that doesn't work. Yeah, but this, and I could show another menu, but we'll let you play with it a bit. We have a break. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the quick talk, and we'll let you try it later. I did recognize it? Yeah, yeah, you set it up, and I'll talk a bit. Just drop this one here. Yeah, sorry. Well, what'd you ask? Right now, it's basically it tracks the hands, and today there's another sensor, the occipital sensor, so it tracks also where I move in space, like 6-DoF tracking. It's what it's called. So basically, it tracks the head and where I'm going, and that was not available until now. Up until now, you only had the hand tracking, and the display would move with you. But today, it can see if I move my hand, and the virtual object can relate to that. Anything else? It does, it does. The second sensor scans the space. We can map the space. We can actually, today, with this sensor, create another version, which basically puts the screen at a different angle, and you can do things. Right now, these screens and the calibration is set for a closed space, something like a desk environment. But we can modify it by changing out the plastic part that holds the screen and some code, and tell it to be more spatial, to be like for a room scale environment. But that requires, and that uses the other sensors to recognize where we are and where to place the objects in the room. Any more questions? Thank you very much. Later, we'll take that. So now we have Ronen.
Thank you, Johnny. And in the break, please come and check out for yourself. I'm sure that it looks much better from the inside than like with all these technical difficulties. Our next lecturer, Ronen, is here from Taxi, the CTO, and he's going to talk about a very interesting thing that one of the things that we have a problem with is how do you monetize? How do you create something that people actually want in augmented reality and actually need and are willing to pay for it? And I think remote assistance is one of the things, this ability to improve the customer service, the customer's experience. And Ronen will talk about how they're using AI and AR to do both things. So please welcome Ronen.
Thank you. Thank you, Omri. Great introduction. I wanted to introduce myself also. So fireballs out of the hand is very cool, very fun. We are actually trying to help people solve problems in customer service. It's a big issue, very nagging issue. I'm the CTO of Taxi. I'm doing algorithms and computer vision for the past few years. And I'll present to you our solution. So let's start with some fun facts about customer service. This numbers illustrates some problems that related to customer service. The numbers there represent the number of people that prefer to do anything else but call customer service. I guess it happened to you also. Out of the 3 facts, 2 of them are correct. Anybody can guess which one? So those two are correct. People prefer actually to clean their bathrooms than call customer service. This is a fact. We checked it, actually. And 72% of people prefer to go to the dentist than call customer service. 100% of the time, I'm trying to fix something at home and fail. I get humiliated by my wife. This is not a true fact. This is just a nice fact to laugh about. So this is Moshe's house. Moshe is my friend, but he's a typical Israeli guy facing some difficulties in installing his electrical systems. What he does before taxi, let's say, he calls customer service. He gets some blind bot that asks him questions that he doesn't understand the answers to in a language he doesn't understand, and it's really a nagging problem. And we are aiming to help Moshes of the world, and this problem of customer service is a big problem for a lot of companies. And for Moshe, right now, he's so frustrated, he just looks to reach the human help, human agent as fast as possible. And what we are doing to solve this problem, we gave the bots eyes to see exactly what Moshe sees and guide him with a solution in a simple way, simply by giving the bots the eyes and hands to show them the problem and how to fix it. So there are millions of bots out there. I guess you're going to sites every day and everybody asks you, can we help you? It's not somebody real, it's someone faceless who doesn't understand your problem. We didn't do that. We gave them eyes to see, to talk to you, and to show you in augmented reality what to do. So I'm the CTO, I'm a technical guy, but this slide make me really proud because taxi service companies in different sectors, from Vodafone in the telecommunication to BMW in the cars industry. And just to illustrate the problems that we are facing, for example, Heineken, there is a huge use case for pubs when they are running out of, there are problems in the tab for Heineken beer. So usually they wait for technician to come and fix their tab. It takes hours, even days, and every hour that tab is broken, they lose a lot of money. So with taxi, they can solve the issue very fast and save a lot of money. So it's easy to put logos on a slide, but we actually save millions of dollars for these companies, and we're also looking to improve the solution, our solution for them every day. So we see our clients as partners and collaborators. They help us collect the biggest repository in the world with customer issues, imagery, and problems. And every day we can use this huge amount of data to unlock big potential and improve our solutions and our use cases. We take our clients to a journey from like the car industry. As you see, autonomous cars soon to be in the roads. We are starting with human-powered vehicles, with taxis that uses some kind of a human driver, or even a machine that drives alone, but still we need to sit behind the wheel and make sure there is no crashes. And then we aim to have a autonomous vehicle without any human behind the wheel. The same goes with customer service. some of our tools helps agents already, that human agents. We give them tools to make the conversation faster, for them to see the problem and augment the solution. And we aim to have a bot that helps you doing the entire process alone, autonomously. I present to you Eve, the first visual technical assistant. She won the Oscar, thank you. So enough the talking. This is the real thing. This is a demo, Jonathan. It's not a live demo, so I hope it will run okay.
Hi, my name is Eve. I am going to help you to install your set-top box. I will ask you to show me the set-top box and cables by pointing your mobile's camera at them. That looks like the front panel, and not the rear. Can you rotate the device and show me the rear panel, please? Here is what I found. You have a Silverline digital set-top box. Let's continue. Find a cable that looks like the one in the picture. When you're ready, hit OK. Show me the cable and rotate it, please. You almost got it. Please show me the antenna cable head instead. Great. Now, point the camera at the screen rear panel ports. Plug the cable into that port. When the cable is plugged in, tap done. Let's see if we got everything in order by checking the screen output. Please show me the screen front side. Click OK when you are ready. Align the screen front side with the drawing on the screen. All set. Your set-top box is properly connected and you have a good signal. Now I will show you how to operate the device. The TV service contains 3 buttons and USB port, channel up, channel down and power button. TV channel 4, TV channel 5, TV channel 6. The remote control contains several useful buttons, via which you can talk. Now, please click on the button I'm showing you at the remote control.
Thank you. So, how does our bots work? Any guess? So first you need to see. How does he see? Yes, exactly, but we need to give him eyes, so where do we have the eyes? Camera, great. So it's the camera of the phone, the mobile phone, exactly. This is the first stage. It needs to see the problem, the objects, the devices, recognize them, the issue, and then it guides you what to do. You can see as the seeing part is the eyes, recognizing is the brain, and the guidance is the hands of the bot. And then it also gives you feedback. So there's nobody that tells me I'm wrong, except for this bot, other than my wife. And she tells me, she do it again and again. So we have a process in place to support our new clients. For example, when there is a coffee machine maker company wants us to build a bot for her, they present the devices they want support on. For example, this series of devices, exactly the specs of each device, the components, subcomponents, and also the specific flow or use case to be supported. For example, unboxing, installation, or troubleshoot. This can be also applicable for smart glasses, Jonathan. In order to help you build those stuff, it's really complicated. Most of the people, it's hard for them. So, and then we have a lot of deep neural networks that we train. We use it for classification, image classification, object detection, and segmentation. In order to give our solution at scale, we also use transfer learning. Once we have networks that are trained for a huge amount of data or devices, new devices or new customers can be trained very fast. This process is really effective. We also use semi-supervised learning, which means that some of the learning is done without annotating or the data, just after deployment as you go. This is an AR meetup, right? So I'll talk more about AR issues. As you see, the guidance stage. So AR Core, AR Kit, now there are AR Core, AR Kit 3. So you're all familiar with that if you came to this meetup. So I'll not get into the details, but you know that this framework uses classic computer vision to map the scene and understand exactly the trajectory, the movement of the user, the phone. We have tried using classic computer vision. It can work. As you can see, we track the specific ports, location while the user moves the phone. But there is some limitation to classic computer vision. The user needs to move slowly. It needs to turn on the lights. And in real cases, it's more challenging. The light condition is not there or very challenging. There is a lot of occlusions, like you see in the picture, with cables plugged inside. And this scenario is more challenging for classic computer vision. So what we did in Taxi is merging the two together, deep learning with computer vision, with classic computer vision, to enjoy both worlds and to have the robustness that deep learning gives us and not suffer from big drifts and errors. Some questions, someone? So the use case is usually for big companies that presents new devices and have a lot of spend a lot of money supporting those devices, the customers. For example, we have one client that sells now present to the market a new router, like a few millions devices. He expects 20-30% of those people buying the new routers to call him to the call center. The minute they pick up the phone to call the call center, they lose money. And every minute they speak on the phone with the call service, very challenging scene that classic computer vision like ARKit will fail. Very occluded, the cables can be mixed. We identify exactly that the cables are connected, as you see, and we can track it in a very challenging scenario like this. So the device status can be used for identifying exactly which cables are connected or not, what are the LED status, if they are lighting, flickering, and so on. Another challenge that we have is identify a very similar devices. For example, as you see the routers here, which looks very similar to one another, we can identify a in very high accuracy the devices and also their subcomponents or sub-devices like cables, which can be very similar to one another, like DSL cable and LAN cable. So the cables can vary very much, like the example here with the LAN cable. It can be sold in a very variety of colors and shapes. and we need to identify exactly this cable also when it's captured at the home of the client with a new background. So we train basically our networks to focus on the more relevant features, also by doing augmentation and synthetic augmentation. But some of the solutions are more simpler than that. For example, UI, we can ask our bot to ask our end customers to place the cable in a specific location in front of the camera, and this way we can avoid a lot of the noise, like you see here in this clip, maybe. Believe me, as you saw in the demo, right? In a window, we aim. So just summing up the process that we are doing. First, we ask our customer to give us exactly the specs of the device needed support, their manuals. Then we collect the data. This data can be already saved or new data. If it's a new device, we capture it in our lab. And then we train our networks. Our network can run in the cloud, in the native mobile application, and we deploy it. As we deploy it, we first deploy it to not all of our clients' customers, only some, to learn and improve, and then we can deploy it in a large scale with a very, very high accuracy as we improve, as we go and learn and reach there. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes. Okay, so first I'll start with the second question. If you didn't see, our bot is a female, so it's aimed to please, and it's really, we are looking to be very gentle. So what you offered is to be more human than robot? It's a good, I will ask our PR guys, but I don't have an answer for that. I thought she's cute. So. Regarding the trouble issues, you can, as you saw our clients, we have, the use cases are huge. For example, one of the hard use cases we are working on is insurance. For example, we have a big insurance company that has a problem with clients that have problems in their apartments. So usually they send to the apartment some special guy to evaluate exactly the problem in the apartment, like exactly there are cracks in the wall or there are leaking walls. So we are working to assess these problems with computer vision. So wherever there is human expert involved in supporting people, if it's insurance, car industry, any other industry, there is a process that can be automated, and Eve can come rescue a lot of millions of dollars in this process. Yes? Okay, so thank you for lots of the questions. I'll try to remember. Languages, yes, it services a lot of different languages. So far is around 10 languages. Tablet, so it's most of our solution is working on a browser, so you can reach there with anything, also a tablet, we support that. We are currently working with global companies on that bot deployment. Nothing today in Israel that you can use tomorrow, let's say. And the fourth question, someone can help me? Yeah, okay, so that's a good question. So one of our solution, for example, some of our offering can be offered only online web service, but we also offer our native application works totally offline, and we are also working to make most of our offering work also offline. So it's possible. We are working on some of it. Partly true. Yeah. Yes. Last one. A good question. First, what I said is we have a huge, huge client base, right? From around the world. We already have repository of millions of images by our clients. Sometimes, like I said, there is a new device, right? Our client wants to sell a new device and he wants to install it. So we don't have a prior knowledge of that device. We have a process in place to capture this device. But usually we capture several thousands of images. This is enough to reach the accuracy. We use transferred learning from our huge database to reach these high accuracy numbers. Thank you very much. I'm out of time.
Hey, thank you, Ronen. I think it's very interesting. And also, I want to add that I think that a lot of startups that are doing augmented reality are actually doing a lot of computer vision and machine learning, deep learning, at least for a lot of interesting use cases. So thank you. It was very interesting. So this is almost, the talks are almost over, and you can experience augmented reality sport. In a second, the guys will come up here and explain about it. But before, we have this corner where we offer the community. I don't know what happened there. Yeah. So we offer the community a chance to speak out if somebody has an interesting project, somebody is looking for a job or looking for people. So please contact us if you have some announcement to make or if you want to make one now. And this time around, actually, I have also an announcement because, as I said in the beginning, is that yeah, not working. So as I said, that actually have a startup doing infrastructure for augmented reality, and finally, after quite a long time, we are about to release our SDK for developers, and we have a new way to fuse digital content into physical spaces. So if you're a developer that's interested in these kind of things, please contact us. And now, without further ado, Johnny, you want to have the honors?
Yeah, well, you're going to have a lot of fun with this soon, but Nir, please come up. Nir from Hado is the entrepreneur behind Hado, one of the guys. Well, they're trying to build out a new sport here in Israel, basically. It's a whole sports league. It's basically like, I don't know, catchball? What do you call that? Oh, yeah, he just stepped out. That's classic. It's okay. He's probably... Anyways, so without further ado...
Okay, so maybe I'll explain it. In 2 seconds, you'll get to experience it for yourself. But basically, is how you add digital assets into the gameplay that is actually a physical play, and it's a sport. I think that you'll see a demonstration in a few minutes. So what we need out of you guys is a little help arranging all the chairs in the background, and we'll get a 5 minutes break, and during that time we'll set up the system. And when you come back, you'll see with your own eyes how is the world gonna look in a few years from now. Yeah, here's the guy. So just a second. Okay, before we start, Will. So please just take your chairs to the back. So please be back at 5 minutes from now. היי, היי, שלום? הם לא שומעים? היי, היי. Okay, so we want to start. Everyone please clear a little path for the camera so we can all see what the players are seeing. And the guys from Hado Israel were gonna explain to us a little bit about the project, about the sport league they're opening, and how to play the game. And then, actually, I think augmented reality is about experience it. You don't just hear about it or look at videos. You have to actually feel it and play it and touch it. So please do try the experience when you have the chance. So, Johnny, who is coming up?
Come on up, come. We need you to tell a bit about how to use it. You're gonna talk? You wanna talk about it? Come on. They'll tell you a bit about what you're gonna do. We're gonna see it all up on the board. Michael is gonna talk a little about it.
Yeah, well, good evening to everyone. We're going to present here today a little bit about Hado. It's a game that comes from Japan, from a company in Japan that marked to give an experience to teams to play a sport game combined with augmented reality in order to connect also tactics and the experience of actually movement and physical challenges that you have, but enable them, Hado is like a superhero, enable them to become a superhero, to place the objects on the reality, on the augmented reality, to gain power with power balls that they need to throw at one another, and to win as a team against the other team by trying to hit them as many times as possible. We're going to allow you a little bit to experience that. Amit here and my son Amit, which is just here, will be the one that guiding you and showing you how you play. You can see on the screen, if it will move a little bit, you will be able to see what they are seeing collectively. So when you are putting the helmets on, you will see whatever it is you are doing and the other guys on the team, but from a shooter perspective. And when you would look at the screen, you would see it from the audience perspective. And the idea behind this is to allow the audience to be part of, that they can cheer up, they can push the teams up, and building it up as a tournament. There are tournaments that are going in Japan, in Singapore, in the US, in Europe. And there is also a tournament, a yearly tournament that is taking place in Tokyo, of which teams from all over the world are coming and playing, competing against quite a significant prize reward that is increasing over the years. We will have also an Israeli team that is going over there. Thank you.
So I'm gonna explain how to play the game. The game is very simple. It's like dodgeball. We play 3 against 3. The way we shoot our ball is doing like that and charging it. There is a bar above you, and you'll see the bar sliced to 5 pieces. Every piece is one shot that you loaded. And when I load my shots, I can just hit with my fist, all comes out. And I'll see the leaves in my opponent's face, and my goal is to hit those leaves. When I hit all of the leaves, I get 1 point. So that's the main goal in this game. And when we play 3 against 3, the game gets very competitive, and lots of points and lots of hits are actually being registered. The way to avoid the shots are literally by running away from them. So if I shoot him, he can just move away and will not hit him. Another way is just to do a shield. How you do a shield? You just take your hand, put it down, and wait for the shield to charge. After it charges in your screen, you will see completed, and then you move your arm like this. As you can see in the screen, now a shield appears in front of me. So if he shoots me, there's no way he's gonna hit my leaves. So that's basically the game. So we're gonna play a few seconds of the game, and then if any one of you want to experience with the game, so we'll give you a try. Anyone can take the mic away from me, because